Hey, so here's a quick look at a jacket I've been wearing and testing out for about the last week. It's from Outdoor Vitals, who I've done quite a lot of past reviews of their gear. Everything they make tends to be very lightweight, very well made, and very good value for money because they only sell direct off their site, so they don't sell through any major shops or any other websites. There are a couple of things about this standard puffy jacket that make it very different from every other standard puffy jacket, so it is worth talking about, and it certainly comes as quite a surprise for me. Let's talk about the stuff that's pretty normal. As you'd expect, a puffy jacket. The fill I think is 800 or 850 plus down fill, so it's a quality, it's the highest quality fill you can have. That's a natural fill, so it's a duck fill I think, or a goose fill. But it is also blended, I believe, with some synthetic fill as well, and all of it's got a DWR coating on it, so it's very resistant to water and wetness and getting damp. And what they claim, and I can kind of agree with it because I tested it when I wore it deliberately wet, is it does still keep you relatively warm even when it's wet, which is quite unusual for a jacket that's predominantly a natural down fill. So that is one element of this that's super cool. The second one is something I can't show you on a video, and that is that it's ridiculously light. If you're one of those people that wants to travel extremely light, or wants something that packs up super small and doesn't take up too much room, this jacket is so light it's actually quite surprising. It almost feels like a child's jacket for weight when you pick it up. It's noticeably lighter than any other puff jacket that I own, noticeably. So that's kind of covers the fill. The outer fabric is your standard kind of ripstop nylon, and it's got a DWR coating on it, again a water repellent finish, so if you get light showers on it, it repels the rain away. You've got pit zips, as you'd expect if you get a bit too hot, so you can unzip to cool down. If your hands get a bit cold, it's got your thumb loops, so you can put your hands through and cover the bulk of your hand, and the arm is generously long enough to be able to do that comfortably. It's got your standard 2 zip pockets as well that you can throw your hands into, and it comes down quite long at the back, so you can sit down easily on it as well without getting too much of a cold bum. Adjustable hood as you'd expect, adjustable hem as you'd expect, you know, what you'd usually expect for a jacket of this kind of caliber. But here is the thing that makes it particularly unusual. These baffles here, which are to keep the fill in the right areas, do not have any stitchings in between them. So although you see lines as if there's stitching, when you pull it apart you'll notice there's nothing. So the material, the outer material itself, has been fused to create this. And there are two reasons why this is awesome. The first one is because there is no thread here, there's nowhere for the rain to seep into. And so this jacket is significantly more repellent to water than normal, which is pretty awesome. And the second reason that it's super cool is because there's no stitching, it saves a little bit of weight, which is one of the reasons why this is so much lighter than other jackets that are very, very similar. That pretty much covers everything about this. From a size and fit point of view, the great news is they do a women's sizing and shape as well as a men's, rather than just giving women a men's in a small, which is great because my wife often moans about women's stuff not fitting properly and hers does. But the other thing just to point out for this, for people for sizing and buying, is in my opinion, if you're a relatively warm person like I am, and even in quite extreme cold conditions, you're only really wearing one thin layer beneath a jacket like this, and you might potentially have a waterproof jacket over the top, then the fit is perfect. It's quite a tailored fit. If, however, you're somebody that gets quite cold and thinks you might want 2 layers underneath this, so like their thin dragon wool and then another layer like a fleece before this, my recommendation is to go one size up. So if you're a medium, buy a large. If you're a small, buy a medium, because it is quite a tight fit, or quite a tailored fit. So that would be my only other piece of advice. That's about it. That gives you a good look at it. It's the Outdoor Vitals Nova UL jacket. Please like and subscribe. It makes a massive difference to my channel. I'll put in the description a link to a more in-depth blog and the link to the lowest price for this online. So there you go.